Now we've lived a month in Japan, and to say the least, it has had its own challenges, its own ups and downs. So, how is it for you to finally live in Japan?
It's like surreal. It's like really, really surreal. Because of COVID and all of this stuff, there was a point I really doubted us traveling. Like, I have, at some points, just totally lost hope.
Yeah, for me it was only like the last month before they opened. Then is when I lost hope. But the thing is, people told me that there was a way to get a working holiday visa, although it hadn't opened yet. We didn't end up needing it because, well, they opened up for tourism the month after. Anyways, you spent a lot of time learning Japanese before you lost hope, and then you didn't just keep up, right?
No, I was really, really good at it the first couple of years. And then Corona came and all of this, and I just kind of lost the motivation because I didn't think we would make it.
Yeah.
So my language should be better, but it's not.
Yeah, that's right. So the thing is, 2 years ago, she would respond, or at least respond in Norwegian to whatever I said in Japanese. Now she's hardly able to respond to anyone on the street for some reason.
But it's going so fast, and there's dialects, and there's so many words. Like when I finally learned that, oh, this sentence means this thing, and I'm ready to respond it in the stores, and then they come up with another sentence that I've never heard before, that I don't even know a single word from this sentence. Mostly meaning the same thing, but I don't know the word. So then I just stand there like an idiot again, not knowing what to answer.
Yeah, it's sort of like the difference is, how are you and how do you do?
Yeah.
It's like, all of a sudden you don't understand a thing.
Yeah, like store language, if I can say, like grocery store language. I find that so hard. I can't even memorize to say I don't need a bag. Like fukuro wa hitsuyo de wa nai?
必要
Hitsuyo de wa nai.
必要ではない
Hitsuyo de wa nai.
Yeah.
But you see, I remember it when I'm here inside, but when I go out to the store and actually need to use it, I just get so stressed that I can't come up with the words anymore.
Yeah, so she can follow mostly the conversations being held, but you're still not able to reply that.
Yeah, I will say I understand everything from 0 to 70% of the conversations, sometimes up to 100%, but it depends very on what the topic is and how fast they speak, or dialects. Like some people just speak so fast and like mumbly. In Norwegian I would have understood it, but in a different language it's hard.
Well, it depends on the dialect. In Norwegian, like...
yeah, true, for sure. It's
Yeah.
like, it's kind of the same thing here.
Yes, I struggle with some elderly people. Some of them, most of them speak just like fine and I can understand it, but there's been a couple of older people like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but some of the words I can't really pick up because they're, yeah.
Yeah.
But has it gotten easier? Because we've been here a month now.
Yeah, I would say like the last week, maybe. We went to this biking trip where we talked Japanese to each other, and that went fine. I think
we did so over the walkie-talkies as well.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I actually been able to make up sentences, which is really bad since I should have known how to do that by now. I feel like it's going easier, but I don't know if I'm ready to have a conversation with a
Japanese person.
Yes.
Yeah. So so that's the language, and it seems like you're soon warming up to actually use the language. But other things, how has food been? Let's start from before we moved in here.
The first 2 days, the first 2 weeks, they were really difficult. Like people say that it's hard to be vegan in Japan. Yes, it is hard if you don't have a kitchen, to be honest.
Yeah, so I've been told so many times on this Facebook group for vegans in Japan, mostly foreigners. It's interesting because they say, oh, most 7-Eleven will have the soy meat curry. Have you seen the soy meat curry at 7-Eleven?
No.
No! I've even looked for it at different 7-Elevens. I can't find a single place that has specific soy meat curry. And they say, oh it's pretty easy nowadays, most will have it. It's like, no, I haven't seen a single one with them. If we didn't have the Shojinirori restaurants and such, the difficulty would have been way much greater.
Yeah, but don't forget we have other opinions in Wakayama.
Other options, yeah. Omkar, yeah, that's an Indian restaurant.
And that's just a half an hour walk from here, so that's not far.
It's Seneka.
Seneka? Ah, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it wasn't Seneka, it was Seneka.
Seneka. Huh.
Yeah, it's a health store, it isn't vegan, it isn't vegetarian, but they have vegan options. We even found Danish vegan butter there.
Yeah, and frozen pizzas.
American frozen pizzas.
Mm.
There exists vegan pizzas in Japan, but we haven't found them. Well, for the first day, it was like, okay, what can we find? Okay, vegetable chips. Okay, that can work. Soy joysticks, although we made a mistake in the beginning. I think we made 3 mistakes in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because we bought soy joysticks that weren't actually vegan, my mistake. And it was the
Yogurt?
The yogurt, yeah. The yogurt that may or may not be vegan, but there is no way to tell. And the last thing, if I can remember, I think it was some kind of dairy replacement. What was it? It was one more.
Milk?
Yeah, that's right. The first almond milk, that was also like the first night. I bought a almond milk, but it contained honey. What do you... Yeah, exactly. What do you think about dairy replacements in Japan containing animal products for some reason?
Well, it's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's really unnecessary. The plant milk options here are so big that it's easy to just go crazy. But then you have just to stop yourself like, oh, we have to check every single one if they're actually vegan.
Yeah, because a lot of them contains honey. Some of them contains milk powder. Yes,
Yeah.
you can find soy milk, almond milk and oat milk with basically dairy in them. Same thing for tofu. You have to check the tofu if it's vegan or
You have
not.
to check every single thing you buy. That amount of hours were spent at the grocery stores just checking, using Google Translate and just search every product if there had anything that's not vegan.
Now let's talk about bread.
Yeah, we Norwegian people loves bread, and we have, how many breads have you found now?
I think we found 7 maybe.
7?
7 different bread types if you don't count crusts.
Like the normal bread.
Yeah, well, if you think of just normal bread, not baguette or ciabatta.
No, you can say ciabatta.
Okay, yeah, because like of regular bread, we found one option of that isn't like rice bread. I think we only found like one that is just plainly bread slices.
Yeah, and that was near the city central station, hours walk from here.
Yeah, and the thing is, we didn't know about that store. It had multiple options. It's next to where we stayed at the hotel. We didn't know. They even had a lot of vegan chocolate in there.
Yeah, vegan chocolate. They had a lot of fruit chips, which were vegan. They had some other things as well, I think, but I can't remember right away.
Should we talk about the products that we have been managing to find?
I would say we have been able to find everything except from egg replacements.
Yeah, egg replacements is
Which
one of
is
them.
so annoying because it would be the easiest thing to bring with us. From Norway, the easiest thing. But no.
well, on that one it says egg replacement, but so if someone checked our luggage, we really would have to explain ourselves, I think. Because you aren't allowed to bring animal products into Japan anymore.
Yeah, but if they would see it behind it, it would just say cornstarch and potato starch.
If it's not written in Norwegian, that is.
Oh, I think it's... Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we would have, like, it is powder.
It's powder, yeah. Yeah, so you can usually bring things in if it's like really processed, unless if it's meat. So
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So yeah, and another thing that we haven't found is like sausages and burgers. Most meat replacements there are chunks and sometimes nuggets. I have filmed the meat replacement section at a store here. The absolute majority of it is only vegetarian. They put eggs in a lot of it. But the thing is, aside from that, if you can find bread without butter in it, some of them contains eggs, but some of them has. I wasn't familiar with the word shortenings. There is no direct translation for this in Norwegian because in Norway there's a specific word for animal-based shortenings and plant-based shortenings. In Japan they just use the English word and we can't tell if it's vegan or not.
Yeah, another thing that's really annoying.
Yeah. Meat replacements not being vegan, we're used to. It used to be the norm in Norway. Now most meat replacements are starting to be vegan anyways in Norway. Here they're a little bit back in time, sort of. Do you also feel like we're like 10 years back in time?
Yeah, I really feel like that.
Yeah, not when it comes to the dairy replacements.
No. We couldn't find yogurt 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've even found flavored yogurt here.
I can show the containers.
Yeah.
Look at this big chunk of flavored yogurt. I mean, yes, this is the flavored yogurt that we have found.
There exist a few more, but there are some soy yogurts that isn't vegan as well. This is horrible.
This is horrible.
Why would they do that?
Like the big yogurt without taste, there are like big containers, so they're fine. But this, like for big Europeans, this is way too little for us. Yeah, this is not even like.
You can't even have this one on the side when you're on the go. Basically, it's just too little.
It's maybe it can add to like.
It's just a snack basically.
It's a snack. Yeah, it's a good snack. We haven't tasted it yet, but yeah.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, they have Alpro products here, but it's almost solidly Alpro oat milk.
They have oat milk with black tea, and that one is pretty good.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
have
But
also the chocolate one.
well, usually Alpro is the go-to if you want soy milk, but we go for Oatly when we want oat milk, so that they basically brought in Alpro for the oat milk makes absolutely no sense to me. But they don't bring any other.
It's kind of funny though.
Yeah, but they could have so many soy yogurts if they just imported more Alpro yogurt.
Maybe there's like nationalists like in Norway.
No, most of the soy is produced in America.
Oh yeah, maybe this one's alright.
Yeah, so it makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, but like in general in the grocery stores, is there like more than just replacements and such that you find difficult or easy?
When you get used to what you can buy and what you not can buy, it's not that hard, I would say.
Yeah.
It's more interesting to see how there's so many different fermented things that we don't find in Norway. Fruits and vegetables we don't find in Norway. It's more exciting, honestly.
I want to say a little bit more about the fermented food. So there is vegetables, hard or dark vegetables that are fermented, really delicious. But again, we have to check what they contain because they contain a lot of stuff. And sometimes it just says dye, and then it's red, and it's like that could be calming.
Yeah.
That could be calming.
Like this is not a bad thing, but it's bad for you especially because there's apple in so many things, and he's allergic, so that's kind of sucks too.
That's the truth in Norway as well. You can't buy a smoothie without apples.
No, you can. Yeah, we found some protein shakes, and I think there was two kinds of protein shakes. The one contained apple, the other contained coffee.
Yeah.
But they were vegan even so, but he couldn't drink any of them.
No, well I quit caffeine for a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I drank caffeine at the airplane. I said tea, coffee, and I just said tea.
Yeah, maybe it was black coffee.
And the coffee tea.
Black tea.
Yeah, it was black tea. Yeah.
Maybe it was black tea.
And maybe it was green coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Now, No, but I like most of that, but like you have to check the fermented foods, which is annoying.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is something many people traveling to Japan should know. If you go to the may contain ingredients list, it doesn't say may contain, it's honest about it. It says secondary ingredients, which means we might have put some in there anyways, but it's too little, so we don't bother putting it on the label. Sometimes they don't even add it on the label whatsoever, but that has been much better the last years. I think the yogurt that we mistakenly bought was one of the few cases where they don't add it on the label whatsoever.
Yeah, which we know of, though.
Yeah, that's true. Like there might be other mistakes we made that we cannot tell unless somebody tells us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we really need, if somebody sees that we buy something that isn't vegan, just tell us.
Yeah. Anything food related you miss from Norway?
I'm not sure actually. The only thing that I miss is having a blender. We might get one. There is some like policy with noise and this apartment complex. So that I miss, but I don't know if there's something specific in Norway that I miss. The thing that I miss is just having the availability when I'm out, but that's it. Is there something you miss?
The blender for sure,
Yeah.
but I'm not dependent on it. I can live fine with a year without it. Other than that, I think I miss the so many options available, because Norway have been pretty good at it the last years. So I think I miss that, like you can choose and pick. You can definitely choose and pick here as well in many things, like yogurts and stuff, but there's kind of like one yogurt per grocery store. So like you have one option per grocery store instead of having all the options in every grocery store.
Yeah. Well, again, as I mentioned, something that I would miss now is just buying burgers and sausages. And it's not that we can't make them, it's just we don't know where to buy burger buns or sausage bread.
We have found sausage bread, but they contain milk.
Yeah, so it's just so annoying.
You have to memorize where you can buy some kind of things in Norway as well, but here you have to like, oh, I like this one, where did we buy this one? Oh, I like this one, where did we buy this one? It's like,
yeah.
It's not like, oh, in Kiwi we have this and this and this. No, it's like, in that store we have this, and in that store we have this.
This and that, yeah. I know where we got that one from, or I think we got it from Evergreen.
I think it was Palm City.
Palm City?
I think it was that.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It was Palm City. What do you... Yeah, because we found that coconut yogurt at the Evergreen.
Yeah,
that's true.
And there are like some milks that we get in every store, but then there's like 10 milks after that we only get in that store. So like we have gone a bit wild because we have found different things in every store. So we have like bought a lot of things from every store. Every store. Where is every store? Every store.
Yeah.
Every store.
Every store. Yeah. I used to miss a lot of things in the beginning, but then I started to find most of the things we will find in Norway anyways.
Yeah.
Like when we found dates, that was like hammered down. We're gonna have to get a blender. Yeah.
We have found like snacks and dried chickpeas. We have found cocoa. We have found cocoa. Yeah. Like, look at this.
Different type of cocoa powder.
And coffee.
And coffee.
I had to show you this coffee. First of all, 2 cocoa. And they're both vegan, which is hard to find in Norway, like just powdered cocoa that are vegan. We have a lot of chocolate milk in Norway, but the cool with this, you can use them both hot and cold. You can just mix them up with hot water or hot milk or cold water or cold milk. And there's still spice in one of these.
There's even spice in there, yeah.
Yeah, and the same goes for this coffee, vanilla flavored coffee.
Vanilla flavored coffee.
Yeah, you can have it in cold water or cold milk, as well as warm water or warm milk.
Yeah.
You
Also,
don't find that stuff in Norway.
and just talking about coffee, you decided to drink less coffee when you came to Japan.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I drink more coffee than ever, I think.
Yeah, why?
Because there's so many coffee options for vegans here. In Norway, I'm so ashamed of living in Norway now, because we are in second place to drink most coffee per person,
Yeah.
and we drink only black coffee. And like the amount of coffee you get here, you can get it on vending machines. You can get hot coffee on vending machines. There's just aisles of different coffee. You can get it in big soda bottles, you can get it in like normal soda bottles, you can get it in small soda bottles.
You can buy it in cans.
You can buy it hot, cold, with milk, with soy
Milk cartons, yeah.
milk cartons with coffee. It's insane, and I love it.
Yeah, that really surprised you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many things have surprised you about Japan in that way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, is it really difficult to be vegan in Japan? That is a good question to ask.
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say no. It's not hard to live in Japan and be vegan.
On another note, going here, staying at a hotel, will be a lot more difficult, unless you plan. Because there is something, like, you can travel in Japan. If you decide to go a specific route, you will do well if you know where to go, because there is vegan restaurants almost all over the country. I think it's hard in Hokkaido specifically, but looking at Happy Cow, there's like dots of vegan and vegetarian restaurants and veg option restaurants all over the country. It's spread out, so you can't just go anywhere. You need to know where to go. That's basically, so if you want to go to Japan on a trip like that, make sure you know what to do, make sure you know what you can get and such. If the soy meat curry was easily available, that would be a good suggestion,
Yeah.
but as for now, I can't tell that the Kansai area generally has a lot of them.
What I would advise to people just coming to Japan and living here for a week in a hotel room, I would say bring with you a lunchbox and chopsticks and a spoon, because then you can just buy things at the grocery store and just mix them in your lunchbox, like a salad or something, because that will be the easiest thing to make, a salad or fruits and vegetables. I don't know if you can eat the soy meat raw, probably not.
But they have microwaves at every single apartment store.
Yeah, I would really advise you to go to the big supermarkets and buy food there instead of just going to the small convenience store, because you will only find like bananas, chips and salt chips, not the other ones, and like 2 protein bars. So
There are some places you can get the only salt onigiri, and this is something that I forgot to talk about earlier. It's really hard to get onigiri because they put something called dashi, it's basically fish sauce, in every single one of them, almost. I've seen a list of some that doesn't contain, but you can't be sure because they change up the ingredients a lot. It's only the one that's safe, but some of the salted ones also contain fish sauce, which is, it's frustrating.
But something you can do is actually also buy oatmeal and just put it in your lunchbox, and you will get some warm water in stores.
Even the convenience stores got soy milk as well. That is something to note. So if you got like oatmeal with you can just mix it. So that's also a convenience little tip there. Another thing that is also difficult is noodles.
Yeah.
And not like whole products like fresh food like noodle. No, if you buy like instant noodles and such, they're not going to be vegan.
No.
Which is strange because most other places will have them. Well, a lot of them will contain palm oil, but you'll at least get vegan options. We found 3 options so far
In the same store, actually.
in the same store, and it was a Japanese vegan brand. And it was in the biggest store of them all. Yeah, we got it at the Aon store, and it's like, wow, what the absolute heck? We have finally found instant noodles.
Mm.
What do you like best about food, and what is like the best thing you've eaten?
Like, I think I like the coffee the best.
The coffee.
I think that's what I like the most.
Yeah.
Other than that, like the best meal we had, or the best, like maybe omkan, like the first
Omkar.
time. Omkar.
Yeah.
The first time we ate there, it was really good.
Yeah, very delicious. Yeah. So yeah, Omkar is really good. I can't say for now because the best meal I've had in Japan was in Tokyo at the Loving Hut. There's one Loving Hut in Tokyo. That is totally best. But if you can get vegan ramen, it's gonna be really delicious.
Yeah, and
The shojin.
yeah, the
Yeah.
food there is delicious.
Really delicious, yeah. So for those of you who doesn't know, shojin ryori is like Buddhist monk diet. They've been vegan for long before veganism was a thing. I've heard from other people that some Buddhists aren't really too much on board with the vegan idea, but a lot are actually, but they eat mostly plant-based. Somebody complained that they didn't care too much about their containing like animal ingredients in the nori wraps. So you won't find that all the Buddhist monks are vegan, although they eat predominantly plant-based. Maybe I should do a veg talk with the Buddhist monk.
Yeah,
That would be amazing.
that would be cool.
Yeah, I don't know how to really find one that speaks English though.
Well, you can speak Japanese and just text it.
Oh no, just putting subtitles to an entire veg talk? No way. Well, no, but a lot of them speak English, but not all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be interesting indeed. But yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
What's your favorite food here?
Yeah, well that's basically what I've been saying is basically...
Like, what's your food, like, store-bought food?
Oh yeah, store-bought food. That's a pretty hard one. Yeah, that's a pretty hard one. I really like the curry sauce that we found.
Yeah, it's actually amazing as well.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Other things is the chocolate Ritz crackers.
And chocolate bar is also really good.
But, oh, that's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, other than that, I think it's mostly the fermented vegetables.
Oh yeah.
They are also really delicious.
They are.
Yeah. I haven't found any like meat substitutes that's like, whoa, but they work.
I think they're doing their job.
So, moving away from food, like, is there anywhere you would, like, you haven't seen a lot, but like, where would you tell people to travel?
Travel to Wakayama.
Yeah. It's not that there isn't nothing to see here. You got a castle and you got a couple of other things, but it isn't the most famous place. I'd say if you want a good time, try going around in rural areas where there aren't too many people. You don't have to stay there for a long time, but just going through there. Because you'll find that people are way more friendly and like genuinely friendly, not only like being polite. And other than that, Kyoto is pretty nice if you want to see like really beautiful things. And another thing is, don't necessarily believe that you should go to Tokyo. Tokyo is overrated. Well, don't get me wrong, Tokyo is fantastic. It really is. It got a lot of great things, but most of the things you'll find in Tokyo, you will find other places as well. Some places, if you like anime stores, they'll probably have bigger anime stores outside of Tokyo because they have more space to put it up, basically. Yeah, Tokyo is the biggest city in the world, not by square area, but with amount of people. Second to New York in that regard.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Tokyo is really huge, but it smells poop. Literally. Yeah, it literally
Well,
smells poop.
I do believe it because the supermarket, the biggest one, also smells poop.
Yeah, outside. Yeah.
Outside, yeah, it smells
Yeah.
really like poop.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting.
Yeah. I don't know how that came about. Other places that I would say, like exploring the nature here, but do keep in mind you would need vaccinations if you want to be safe. If you're going to do like any walking in woods, check what kind of vaccines you would need. I know that there is hepatitis and Japanese encephalitis is like the ones you would definitely need. Those are kind of necessary if you're going to be like in woods and such. Other than that, it's just straightforward. If you're not going in forests, you wouldn't need any vaccination whatsoever. And also, on that note, you can drink the water off the tap here.
Yeah, it tastes like chloride or salt or something, but
Yeah.
it's nice to actually just can drink water without buying it.
It's okay here, but the amount of chloride in Tokyo is a whole nother level. Yeah, but I think it's just salted air.
I think so as well.
Yeah, it doesn't taste good. I mostly buy bottled water, but I take a cup from time to time.
Yeah, I drink from the tap.
Yeah, you just drink from the tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it somewhere that the vegans should travel?
I think they should aim for places which they can see either there are supermarkets over there or there are options in Happy Cow. You should
Yeah.
go for those places.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you have access to a kitchen and you can actually pre-make food.
Yeah. But always bring your lunchbox.
You can make it without, but keep in mind you won't eat very healthy.
No, and we haven't eaten very healthy since we came here.
No.
Most because there's so many things that we want to taste. And there's so
Yeah.
many unhealthy things here as well. We won't starve. But if you have a kitchen here, you're not gonna get thin by being vegan. You're not gonna starve at all. I actually gained weight since we came here. If you get maltreatment here, living in Japan, it's kind of your own fault, I would say. But traveling, not able to have a kitchen, that's a whole different story. Like you saw, we haven't eaten in like 38 hours the first days.
Yeah, we've had eaten, we just haven't eaten very much.
Yeah, it was like onigiri and bananas. That's kind of what we lived off.
Yeah, we found some soy joysticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, don't forget, I haven't found them ever since we moved in here, but we also ate a lot of those like vegetable crisps as well.
Yeah.
So to the part where that the Japanese people hate that foreigners bring up, what do you like the least about Japan so far? Oh, I know what's coming.
Like Japanese people gonna hate me for saying this, but I think it's like all the norms, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know them. How I understand it is that there are pretty many of them and they're pretty strict to holding them. So you just kind of feel like an alien, not knowing what. And if you break the norms, you're rude, and you don't want to be rude, but you seem rude anyway, and people are gonna judge you for that. So I think that's the worst part, like not knowing all the norms.
Yeah, so the thing that I dislike the most about Japan is sort of the same thing, but not to the degree that you, because you aren't used to the culture whatsoever.
Yeah, I think in a year it will be better.
Yeah, do you know what I dislike the most? The absolute most?
The plastic use.
No, it's no. That's it. No, I thought you would say that when we talk about
We
what
can
you
talk
like.
about that after.
Yeah. So the thing that I dislike the most is criticism is taboo.
Yeah.
How the heck are people going to improve if that is taboo? So it's ironically that I bring it up, that I criticize them that taboo is that I know that criticism is taboo. Ironically, but no, that is actually the thing that I dislike the most. Like people should be able to criticize things. It's really the nail in the coffin. But it's sort of like gotten into a loop where like, oh, it's taboo to criticize. So what are you going to do about it? You can't criticize it because that's taboo, right?
Yeah, it's true, and that stops a lot of development.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We talked about this when it comes to how you send like bills, because there's seemingly a big, or maybe I shouldn't say this because it's kind of a critique.
Yeah, okay, just say it.
Okay, what you said, there's a big problem with furnitures not paying the last bill.
Yeah.
But the last bill usually comes, at least in Norway, usually comes after you moved out.
Yeah.
So when you don't have somewhere to send them, like an email address, of course they're not going to pay them because they're never going to get the bill. Like, I still pay bills from Norway from when we lived in Moelv, and they comes by mail. And I even didn't pay the one time, so I got like more bills on that. And easy peasy, they send it me on mail. They don't know I live here. They don't know my new address. So I think that's something they could do different.
I'm definitely going to check this out and figure out how this works so that I can inform somebody that I will not receive it if they send it after I move. I'm going to make the effort to make sure that everyone that's going to send me a bill sends me the right place, because lots of Japanese people don't lend out to foreigners because they don't pay the last bill. But as I've heard, many just skip the last bill because they won't return. There's no way that they can contact them.
Yeah, and if they had an email address, they could just send, oh, you didn't pay, oh, we will charge you more money because you didn't pay. I don't know how this works, but I guess there's more options for the Japanese bank if they actually have an email address.
Yeah, so it's sort of like we have to like stay a month at a hotel to just pay the last bills.
We can't do that.
Not going to happen.
No.
we just need to check it out, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the plastic, I'm gonna show you what I mean when we talk about the plastic here. Here we have 4 containers with
fermented
food.
Yeah.
The containers are locked, waterproof, as long as I understand it. And we bought everything like
in every separate containers, yeah.
Yeah, and she put a plastic bag. The woman in the
store, yeah.
On every single one. So we have 4 plastic bags now.
So unnecessary.
So unnecessary. So if there's something, my impression of Japanese people or Japanese culture, modern culture, is they love plastic. They honestly love plastic so much. Because some of our sink are plastic as well, and I see there's a lot of things that in Norway would be steel or wood that are plastic here.
Yeah.
Which I kind of understand when I see much of the steels here are rusty.
Yeah, there's a lot of mold as well.
So I understand why they use so much plastic, but I'm just not used to seeing so much plastic.
Yeah, but sometimes the wrapping is insane. So first you have a wrapping around a wrapped box.
Yeah.
It's all plastic, and you take off that wrap, you open the plastic box, and there's wrap on the food inside as well with plastic. So there's like 3 layers of plastic for some reason.
Yeah. And I have to clarify, because the last video, I guess it was, you said, oh, Japan must be the worst country for you. And I was like, yes, indeed it is! It was not meant as I actually think Japan is the worst country on the planet. Not at all. There's so many things I appreciate with Japan and I find fascinating with Japan after living here a month. I just think this is unnecessary as someone who is obsessed with garbage and how to recycle the garbage, and we live in a state where this plastic is not recycled, which I think is really a shame. Plastic is so much more difficult to recycle than it sounds like, because there's so many types of plastic and the plastic have to be clean to recycle it. In Norway you have to clean plastic before you throw it away, and when you don't clean your plastic, they're gonna just send it in the
incineration
plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what they do with this plastic as well, which I think it's much better than landfill. I can't so many things about the incineration plant, but it's a better option. What I don't like about it is, since you know how to get rid of the material, you have to make more material to make more things, which I think is a shame.
Yeah, and she got I almost said PhD, a bachelor's degree in this. So yeah, kind of the right person to actually talk about it.
And of course we are going to use the plastic bags to something before we throw it away. Of course we're going to use it. We use many of the containers to store food leftovers in, so we use it as long as we can or have space to use it. It's not that, it's just we didn't need it in the first place. It's just that, but that's the only thing I'm going to say about the plastic.
Yeah. So is there something that you miss from Norway?
In general?
Yeah, in general.
Knowing what people say.
Yeah.
Understanding the language.
Is that the main thing?
Maybe knowing the norms.
Yeah, maybe.
And like, I know that we are foreigners. People don't expect as much as us, but there's kind of like trying to fit them is not the easiest either.
Yeah. So the thing is, something that many people say is you can get away with almost anything because you're a foreigner. Or so you would think. But the thing is, you would have gotten so many other opportunities if you knew the culture better. So they might not tell you to your face that you're being rude, but they might avoid you.
Yeah.
So that is a huge problem.
Knowing the norm, I miss knowing the norm, and I'm on my way learning it, but
I find it hard in Norway because of like the political changes and
yeah, I manage
the
that.
social change. Yeah, I think Japan is easier because I've had more time to work with like the different things in the culture than it is back in Norway now, because if you do or say something wrong, then you are, in their word, Hitler. So I mean, yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like this in the whole Western world. So.
Yeah, but I still struggle because it's changing so fast. Hopefully it slows down soon. It seems like it has started to slow down a little.
Yeah, I think the younger generation care less about it than our generation.
Yeah, I feel like Japan is a little too slow on that part, actually.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Yeah, so a lot of like social change. So veganism is surfacing now in Japan, slowly, but I'm sure that in Japan it will boom sometime in the future. Might be in 10 years, but as soon as it really starts sticking, I think it will be big in Japan. But as of now, people don't know about it, and this is something else. People don't criticize, like, they could be, but like, people don't criticize me for being vegan here. When I bring up that I'm vegan, that nobody asks why.
Maybe they don't dare because they don't know you.
Well, that could be.
It would be pretty rude to just go to a tourist in Norway and say like, "Oh, why are you vegan?" Like, you don't.
Oh! I experienced that when I go to places where I haven't been and I meet people.
In Norway?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're a Norwegian. But
yeah.
say you go to, I don't know, Germany. Why should they confront a Norwegian tourist about being vegan? Why should a Norwegian wouldn't go like, "Oh, you're from German and vegan"?
Yeah.
It's because we are tourists.
I don't know. So
it would be so rude.
Then like people that I know from before also don't question it, like saying that, "Oh, you're doing something wrong, or you're not going to get enough nutrition," because that is something that I don't feel Japanese people is like, they don't think that you won't get enough nutrition because they got the Okinawan diet, they got the shoji nirori, they know that it's not dangerous, but on the other hand, there is a myth here in Japan that being vegan is the same thing as being a part of a cult. That's bad. It's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah, we are not a religion yet.
Not yet. We're not a state church yet. Yeah, no, the thing is, There is also an issue with people misunderstanding what veganism means. So many Japanese people think it's the same thing as being flexitarian. And that is bad. But Japanese has an expression to explain what an ethical vegan is. Before veganism was a thing, it just basically means the same. It doesn't have the same quotations and such, but it basically means the same. And sometimes I would have to use that word, and then everybody understands what I'm talking about. But my experience is a whole lot more people know what vegan means now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I went there earlier, I knew a couple of people, and most of the time I wouldn't even use the word vegan because we're just confused. 1 in 3 people at least knows the word vegan. They might not know what it entails fully, but 1 in 3 people knows the word vegan, and they know it's some kind of plant-based diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they know that it's the ethical part, maybe if I use the Japanese word.
Maybe.
Yeah, so that things are going forward,
Yeah.
and vegan isn't such a non-existent word anymore. Things are changing. Labeling laws here has also changed. Things are getting better, and now does this one have the vegan labeling on it?
No, but we have a food with vegan label.
Yeah, yes, because there is the vegan label. There has been a change in the law, so they're going to put them on all the plant-based products that exists, but they're not quite there yet. So yeah, reason now is that they're soon done with making sure that they put at least on the may contain list. There's still some exceptions now, but yeah, it's getting there. Oh, they're picking up the rubbish. Oh, that doesn't make too much sound.
Yeah, there's a lot of sound. I guess our neighbors hear us talking now as well. So that's also like a bad thing. It's very you can hear each other.
Yeah, but the house is a big thing. So what do you think about the space?
Actually, I really enjoy the space.
Yeah.
It's just the right amount of space. You just have exactly what we need. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, I still think I should have bought a proper oven instead of a toaster oven. I didn't know that I would get space for it, but we found a place where we could put a bigger oven, but we didn't.
No, but I really like it. But we could never live like this in Norway because we have too many things.
Yeah, we have too many things. We need a bigger house.
Yeah, and we are both kind of hoarders, so we can't throw away anything. And there's some reasons for that, because we don't buy new things unless we actually need them. So instead of buying new things, we just never throw away what we have and just use it forever.
Yeah. One thing that frustrates me a little, in the beginning, was that on this site where we found this apartment, there was a table and a couple of chairs on the images.
Yeah, in the normal height.
It was about this height.
Yeah.
A couple of chairs, exactly here. They're not here.
Yeah, that's annoying.
That's annoying. Yeah. So we had to get other solutions. We bought a chair. We bought this table. I definitely need a chair because if I sit on the floor too long, my leg hurts. My knees, basically. I didn't expect it. It happened. But there's one thing that annoys me even more, and it's the carpet upstairs.
Yeah, that's really annoying.
What it really annoys me is that carpet isn't even common in Japan.
In winter, it's probably cold, and wool is warm, and it makes less noise. So I understand why there's a carpet upstairs, but I wish it wasn't there, even so.
Japanese don't use much wool either. You went to the knitting section and you couldn't find any wool.
Oh, I didn't search so much.
No,
I just
but yeah.
looked at some of them, and it was mostly acrylic and cotton.
Yeah. In Norway it's 90% wool, sadly.
Oh yeah, it's even some places it's 100% wool.
Yeah. One of the Pokemon plushes that I found, is it called Buru in Japanese? I don't know what it's called in English. I grabbed it, it's a sheep Pokemon. And there was a real sheep's wool on that specific one. in making it authentic, it's genius. Ethically, it's horrible. But it's like, wow. But yeah, you will rarely find wool in Japan. But a carpet upstairs is wool for some reason.
Like we use this space for everything. We sleep here, we play Duel Masters here, we eat here. We will probably sleep and play Duel Masters upstairs, like use it as a hobby room and a bedroom.
Yeah.
I think we have it cozy here though. I really like this room.
Yeah.
But we would probably...
It would be much better if we could use the rooms upstairs.
Yeah.
What we do them for now is store clothing, dry clothing, and we used to do that storage as well.
Storage, yeah, yes.
We also have put out the different papers and such that we need to keep track of on the floor there as well.
Yeah, we wouldn't manage without those rooms because then it would be super messy down here.
Yeah, it would be
and like,
really.
That's also kind of what we do. Things we don't use every day, we also just store them upstairs.
Yeah, I don't know how we would find a solution if this was one room apartment.
Oh no, it would be super messy all the time.
Yeah, but I'm really glad that we have a proper kitchen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so...
and a TV, that's all so luxurious, like a smart TV. I never owned a smart TV before.
No, we actually have a smart TV. You managed to do all the things in Japanese. The installment and stuff.
Yeah, I actually did.
Yeah, using your phone, but anyways. yeah, and that's also something. If you go to Japan as a vegan, you should have either a what's called a mobile
Wi-Fi?
Yeah, but you can walk around with your own Wi-Fi or a box with a Wi-Fi portable.
Portable Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. Pocket internet or something like that. That's one thing, or you could pre-order a Japanese SIM card. Definitely do it.
Yeah, because you really need internet.
Yeah, because you download the Google app, you can scan things and it translates for you there and then. Really helpful.
Happy Cow also.
Yeah, Happy Cow. Yeah, true. Another thing to say about the house is we aren't allowed to make a lot of noise. Thus we make this video.
We're talking loud, but it's the middle of the day.
Yeah.
We could make this like
in the evening.
The evening or the night.
Yeah. These walls, cardboard almost. The neighbors hear everything we say, everything we do. We can hear the neighbors losing things. They argue, they talk, snore. So basically, it's really noisy. What do you think about the noise of the neighbors?
I have lived in share house before, and I have lived in the middle of a noisy downtown. So it's pretty quiet here compared to where I lived in Bø, for example.
Yeah, I'm afraid that we make too much noise.
I think we are pretty noisy, which we try to keep it quiet, but we're not used to having to keep it quiet, because I didn't think about keeping it quiet all the time in Bø, because everyone was just noisy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also why I'm dreaded to get a blender. No matter, if someone's talking in another room, we can hear it. There's a couple of boys, when they talk to each other, they sit outside of the house and talk. We don't do that. And it's like, I don't want to sit outside just for talking. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how much they hear.
No, and the difficult part is that they will probably just go around and be annoyed instead of actually telling us or telling our owners, so they can inform us that people think we are annoying.
Yeah. So
that's also no communication.
Yeah. No communication. Yeah, and that's pretty bad. I tried to ask the neighbors if I could buy a blender, but nobody picked up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my absolute favorite part of the house is the shower and the bathtub.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it, even though it's all plastic.
Yeah.
What I really love about it is that there's no small spaces that are only there to collect dust, and it's big. You won't believe it, but the bathtub is big enough for both of us.
Yeah.
And the
We
shower
manage.
is like, it's the biggest shower I have had in a long time. It's so luxurious compared to what we are used to, especially in
Moab, yeah.
One more thing I love about the shower is that it's just a room, right? It's not like the toilet is over there. It's not a bathroom in that case. It's just a room where there's a shower and a bathtub,
yeah.
which make it very isolated. So the shower is really, really warm. It's really, really hot.
Oh, we had a similar solution when I went to the folk high school.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, the heat doesn't
Didn't have bathtub,
disappear all over. It just keeps you warm and cozy while you shower.
Yeah, but one thing that I don't like is that all of a sudden the temperature changes because somebody else in the complex just used the water.
Yeah, that's a downside.
Yeah, we have like the same like system there. What do you think about the washlet?
Oh, I like it. I could consider buying one, actually.
Yeah, it's quite a genius thing, because just wiping yourself with paper, you don't get everything away, you know. It's actually unhygienic, and ironically, before in olden times the Japanese used paper. You can hear about explorers from Europe traveling to China, saying, "Oh, these Chinese people, they instead of washing their bottoms with water, they use paper." And then we started using paper as well, and now, in the future, the Asians are starting using water.
I think I appreciate paper.
Yeah.
Like, the water is just an add-on.
Yeah.
But I will never stop using paper.
No, that's what now. Just walking around with wet trousers.
Yeah, I hate that. I actually hate that.
Yeah. I also get to say something about the bills, because we weren't told that we would get extra bills than what we were told when we moved in. Which I feel is a little annoying. Nothing of it is expensive.
Compared to Norwegian prices.
Oh, but like, even so, like, I'm perplexed at the electricity bill. And like, what was it? Like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, you remember the bill?
Yeah, I remember. It's...
I said that I will just pay bills when I come here, and like, no problem. And yeah.
It's more expensive to buy food here.
Yeah, more expensive to buy food than there is to buy electricity, yeah. And the gas was a little bit more.
Yeah.
The gas bill.
Yeah.
Which I haven't paid yet. I went there yesterday. Spring equinox, all closed down. It's like,
Yeah, like the holidays, we have to
memorize
them, yeah.
I had a book where I noted everything in. Can't find it.
Even if we took it with us to Japan, I'm sure we're gonna find it when we come back to Norway.
Yeah, even if, yeah. Is there anything more you want to bring up? Maybe, yeah, what do you think about the neighborhood?
Yeah, I like the neighborhood. What I really like about the neighborhood is that Saturday night is the most quiet night. And I figure out I really want to live in a place like this in the future, where it seems like everyone just goes elsewhere in the weekends, so it's actually quiet here in the weekends.
Yeah.
I really love that.
We live next to a steel factory, but there's a park in between.
Yeah, which is genius.
Yeah, they've just put up tall trees that just keeps the sound down.
Yeah, there was like something like that in Moab as well, but I don't trust the Norwegian municipalities. They're gonna cut down that
Once in a while, yeah. Someday.
Yeah, and then we will hear everything from the main road just right into our house window.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but yeah, that park is a genius one.
Yeah, because it's a park. It will stay there. It's not just a random forest that no one sees values in except the people living around.
Well, the one in Moab is actually a park, but still they cut down the woods in between.
Yeah, because welcome to Norway. I'm sure they do it here as well, but Norway is I don't like how Norway treats its nature.
No, it's hideous, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, what do you think about how the Japanese do when it comes to nature?
Well, I don't really know any details about it, but what we have seen walking around being stupid foreigners,
Foreigners, yeah.
being stupid tourists, it seems like many of the trails are gone or just never like fixed up again. I think that is a good thing, because the best way to take care of nature is actually just not interact with the nature. You have like road like with the fences around. I think that is a good solution, and having like this is the path you're gonna take and that's it. My impression of how Japan takes care of its nature is actually pretty good compared to Norway. But again, it's kind of unfair to compare things to Norway and how Norway puts up with its nature, because that's just so horrible that it's pretty easy to be better than Norway to take care of its nature.
There is some hiking culture here, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But like really, so Norway is known for its hiking culture.
Yeah.
But Japan isn't too far off. Well, it's sort of off. Like you won't see too many people taking a stroll in the streets. It looks like a ghost town in the evenings.
Yeah.
It's actually creepy walking around at night. Yeah, what do you think? Like the creepiness of walking outside at night?
Yeah, if I didn't know Japan is such a safe country, I think I would be more worried.
You would be terrified.
I have walked in towns like this in England, and it was way more scarier than here.
Yeah. But,
way more.
Well, it's still creepy, and all of a sudden a raccoon dog just pops out from somewhere.
Yeah, but raccoon dogs aren't dangerous.
No, but they scare you.
It is the people that are dangerous.
Yeah, well, the people is there. I think there's a higher likelihood of a raccoon dog attacking you than a person in Japan. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I would think in other countries it would be more likely that a person attack you than anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything you miss in this house compared to what we had in Norway?
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Except from a blender and a bigger oven?
Yeah, a sofa.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
I didn't think I would miss a sofa, but I do. But it's my attendance issue has gotten way worse the last years.
Yeah.
I wanted to not have a sofa, but now after some time it's gotten worse. Something that isn't in the house that I miss is having my own doctor.
Yeah.
That is something I miss.
Yeah.
Having to like figure out which hospital to go to, because it seems like here in Japan, you don't go to a doctor and they get appointed to like a specialist. You go directly to the specialist.
Yeah.
But I do miss an easy way to the doctor.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm not sure if there's too many things that I do miss.
I don't know if there's anything I miss, but no, I actually don't know. But something I will say is you miss a sofa, right? We miss a blender. There's things we miss, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with getting those things, because it's not only the space, but it is to just, we have money to buy these things, even new. But the problem is that we're only going to live here a year, so we have to get rid of everything. And as already told, we are kind of hoarders. We hate throwing things away. So all of the things we buy here, I don't want to throw them away. I want either to take them in with us to Norway, or I want to give them to the second-hand store.
Yeah.
But taking things back to Norway is expensive, and you have to plan it. So like we can't take this table back to Norway.
No, well we could, but
we could, but is it worth it? No.
No, it's not worth it.
The more things we have, the more things we have to get rid of and plan to get rid of, and we have no guarantee that we can get someone to drive us, so we probably have to go the half an hour with this table and share back to the second-hand store.
Yeah, I think the table was easier to walk with than the chair.
Yeah. So it's kind of easier to just live a year without these things than getting them and then have to get rid of them again.
Yeah. So further on from now, we've now gotten settled, so we know how to live in Japan as vegans. Next step is traveling, getting used to traveling. We're quite set on the food part, living one place, and soon we will start traveling. We already decided to do a month without traveling much.
Yeah.
And on from now, we'll see if we can travel a little bit.
Yeah. Explore the country.
Yeah, but then it's the same thing. We need to plan where to go,
Yeah.
what to bring, what we shouldn't bring, what we can get without.
Yeah.
And I guess that's about it.
I guess that's about it.
Yeah. So you'll see what we got to do later, because on the working holiday we can't just stay here. We need to travel. We need to see the country.
Yeah, we can just sit here in 12 months.